Sometimes in life, you'll face moments where everyone tells you, you can't do it. Moments when people step back, when fear stands taller than your courage. But remember this, God doesn't need an army. He just needs one heart that refuses to bow to fear. Today, I want to tell you a story about a young boy who didn't have strength, didn't have power, but had something far greater. He had faith. The armies of Israel and the Philistines stood facing each other. Every day, a giant named Goliath stepped forward, his armor shining, his voice thundering. "Who dares to fight me?" he shouted. But no one moved, because Goliath wasn't just a man. He was a living symbol of fear. Even the king was silent. Everyone wanted victory, but no one had the courage to step up. They all saw the size of the giant. No one saw the power of their God. Then came a boy named David. He wasn't a soldier. He was just bringing food for his brothers. But when he saw everyone trembling, he asked, "Who is this man that dares to challenge the army of the living God?" People laughed. They said, "Kid, this battle isn't for you." But David said, "When lions and bears came for my sheep, I stood alone, and God protected me. He will protect me now." When David stood before the king said, "You are too young to fight." David smiled and replied, "My God is not too small." The king gave him armor and a sword, but David took them off. He said, "I don't need this. All I need is the one who's always been with me." He walked into the battlefield with nothing but 5 stones and a sling in his hand. Goliath laughed when he saw him. "Is this a joke?" he shouted. "You send a boy to fight me?" David looked up and said calmly, "You come against me with a sword and a spear, but I come against you in the name of the Lord Almighty." He reached into his bag, took out 1 stone, placed it in his sling, and let it fly. That single stone struck Goliath on the forehead. The mighty giant fell, face down to the ground. The entire battlefield went silent. David didn't win because he was strong. He won because he believed. Friends, your Goliath might not be a giant with armor. It might be your fear, your past, your pain, your failures, or your doubt. But remember, true warriors aren't the ones who hold swords. They're the ones who hold faith. You don't need the world to believe in you. You just need to believe that God is with you. Because when the world says impossible, God whispers, "I'm possible." So the next time you face your Goliath and people tell you, "You can't," say what David said, "I am not alone. My God fights for me." Never let your fear grow bigger than your faith. Because when your faith stands tall, even the biggest giants fall. No matter how small you feel or how big your problems seem, faith can still move mountains. And one small heart with courage can still change the world.